Welcome back to another episode 49 of the Spittin' Hoops podcast. We're back. NBA Finals is about the best time of the year. Two teams clashing. We got the Mavericks. And then we got the up 2-0 Boston Celtics out here
Mm,
taking names.
give me some.
Drew Holiday, Derek White,
Woo!
Porzingis hurt. It don't matter. Off the bench Porzingis. We'll get to
Bro.
that. But
Mm.
Al Horford, 42 years old. He could be my dad. Maybe not.
Yo. Yo, but his kid was drinking that beer in the locker room though.
Hey
So,
man, Twitter was pissed about it.
you know what, Twitter? Get off of Al Horford's junk, okay? Because we're 2 games away from an NBA championship. How about that?
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Boston, obviously, up 2-0 against the Mavericks. We're here to talk all about it, talk a little too much about it, and get way too into the weeds. Anthony, how are you feeling? We got to start off with that. The pulse of the fans, the pulse of Boston, the hometown team, the
No, we're feeling.
future NBA champs. Knock on wood, knock on wood, knock on wood.
Yeah, that's one thing I will never ever do. I will never count my chickens before they hatch. Not with this fucking team. Not after all the shit that's happened. So, but man, I have not been this happy to be a Celtics fan in a long, long time. After we were up 1-0 against the Warriors, didn't feel great. After we were up 2-1 against the Warriors, didn't feel great. This feels different. There's a lot of comps. I saw one about Luka and the Celtics is kind of like LeBron and the Warriors. A lot of variance there, but I get the idea of 1v5 because that's the way it's looking right now. Because golly, we are just playing out of our minds. We needed a Kristaps game. We already got that out of the way. So even if he's hurt, okay, that's too bad. So sad. We'll figure it out. Tatum hasn't even shot the ball well, but he looks like he's damn near control and calm consistently throughout this series. He had a bad turnover game in game one, but besides that, lockdown defense on Kyrie, on Luka, making him use energy, looking fantastic. Assists, rebounds are up. Jaylen Brown looking like it's hard to tell who the finals MVP is, honestly, the way all these guys are playing. But right now, it's somebody whose name starts with J. That's who it's going to be finals MVP. Giroux, Jason, or Jalen, because the way he's dunking on people, I mean, we just look in control, man. And my biggest fear has been late game execution. And in this game against Dallas, even in game one when they made an 8-point game, and then throughout the Pacers series, they've been able to close the door. So as a Celtics fan, man, I am feeling good. How are you, Max?
Bro, as you should. I mean, these games have honestly been like, I mean, the ratings wise, they've been some of the more watched games over the last 5 years or so. So there's that. Yeah, shout out. Some of the more watched games. I mean, if I remember correctly, the like game one of like Celtics Warriors was like one of the most watched games over the last 5 years. But this game two, I believe, is the most watched game two since the Warriors Celtics. Or the Warriors Cavaliers series, you know.
Mm.
So like there's hype around this series. I'm hyped. Honestly, I've liked both of these games. They felt close. Like there's been a lot of plot lines going on during the games. As a basketball fan, there's a lot of stuff going on to like, I don't know, to dissect. Like watching these games has been like kind of like a great nerd watch. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get to it, but even like first half of game two, like Celtics have just about as poor of a half as they could. But since the Mavericks like turn the ball over a ton, miss their free throws, the Mavericks are going down like into the second half. And there's like nerd
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that I've just really enjoyed. So, you know, I guess we can get right into it. I don't know.
Yeah, man. Um, yeah, start with game one.
Gotta.
I also have a take like this the way that the Celtics are winning, it doesn't, especially if I wasn't a Celtics fan or like a basketball purist or a non-Celtics hater, I guess. But I think the way that they're playing feels very 2004 Pistons-y, 2014 Spurs-y, kind of team-oriented basketball. There's not one necessarily like over superstar. Um, that being said, I could care less about how much of an impact the Celtics win has on Jason Tatum's legacy because I'm not a Jason Tatum fan, first and foremost. I'm a Celtics fan. So we can move past that point. Game one was great. Game one was fun, man. I had a great time. Kristaps played out of his ever loving mind. I think we went on a 23-5 run in the span of 3 minutes or something to just break the first quarter open. Dallas went on a great run themselves, cut all the way back to 8. That was really scary. Luka was looking good. And we looked really bad for a bit, but we were able to kind of hold it together and come out with the dub. So overall felt good. Not the best shooting night from Tatum. So we'll talk more about that. But
Yeah, 100%. I mean, also this is like a total Kyrie stinker, 6 for 19, minus 19. But overall, I mean, this game, it was like the first quarter happened, and it felt like the rest of the game was kind of a wash between the two teams. Specifically in the second half, you kind of felt like, oh, Dallas might be figuring some stuff out, despite a Kyrie stinker, despite Dan Gafford being pretty much unplayable, 14 minutes minus 10 in that game. And like, even though Luka was really good, this isn't like an amazing Luka game by any means. 12 for 26 from the field, 4 for 12 from three, 4 turnovers. Like it is a 30-point triple double, but like percentage wise, it's not amazing to say the least. So I don't know. Like this was a weird one. This was a really weird one. Like it felt like the Celtics might choke away the lead, but also at the same time, it didn't really feel like the Mavs were ever in like a place where they could like get a grip of the game, if that makes sense. And I mean, from there, it's going to be pretty tough to beat a Celtics team where like what 6 guys scored in double figures. Porzingis plays 20 minutes and scores 20 points, I believe. Like I don't know. And I honestly thought Jaylen Brown was just absolutely terrific in this game.
dude, yeah. Oh my lord. He plays his dunk. Like that was what like for me just electrified the crowd. And he just played a smooth game. He still can't hit a free throw, but other than that, he seems like he is peaking at his basketball prowess at the right time. I've never seen him play this steady, if that makes sense.
100%. Offensively and defensively. He's been because that's the thing. Like
Locked
defense has
in.
always been there and like he's always been good on defense, but right now he's like totally locked in. And then on offense, the consistency is there, which is something we have lacked from Jaylen Brown in the past. And now he's just, I mean, he's either the second or third best guy in the series. And like that's amazing. Like that's, I don't know. It's pretty, I can't say enough about how impressed I have been with him, frankly.
Man, he looks good. I'm sorry I didn't put you on my old defense or on my old NBA. Like, this is going to put him right smack in the middle of the All NBA conversation next year, immediately.
And as he should. I mean, I was someone who poo-pooed his All NBA candidacy pretty hard this year, and
Bro, same.
I mean,
I didn't
he's
give a
been great. I mean, the
Mhm.
thing is, again, All NBA is a regular season thing, but it's gonna be hard to deny that
Right.
like it's hard not to look at this player and think that he could be doing something similar for another team as a number one option.
Right.
I don't think he could lead a team to a chip as a number one option, but like this team looks lethal, especially the
Unless you're this version of the Celtics, where his number one option is like 40% of the puzzle instead of like 70%, the way typically is with one superstar.
That's totally fair, actually. I think that's totally fair. Some points on the Celtics also, like this is a very replicable game. This feels like this game is gonna happen again at some point in the series where they're like I don't know, it's not like the Celtics shot the lights out, and it's not like the Mavericks shot 30% from the field or something. Like this felt like a pretty classic game, and I don't know. This game worried me more than game two, obviously. Like we'll get to game two, but this game I was like, oh, like this feels very replicable across the board.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
know,
I mean,
and even if it's not Porzingis scoring 20, maybe it's Drew Holiday, as we would see in game two, but maybe it's Derek White, etc.
maybe it's Jason Tatum.
Probably not. Not at this rate.
Bro, maybe the guy that's averaged 27 in a regular season just decides to meet his season average.
I mean, he's still plus 19 in this game. I think he has the second highest plus minus in this game. And like, I mean, we'll have a greater Tatum conversation, I'm sure, here, but like, he's like, not bad in this game by any stretch of the imagination. I know he goes 6 or 16 from the floor, but in comparison, Kyrie's going 6 for 19 and not really giving you much on defense, passing,
Mhm.
etc. Like Tatum's going 6 for 16, but he's giving you 11 rebounds, 5 assists.
Right.
Like great
Three
defense.
threes. Yeah, that's true.
Um,
Yeah, he looked good. And yeah, so that felt like yeah, I'm with you. It was a replicable game. Um, you got anything else on the first game?
nah,
Let's talk about the second one, bro.
that's because the second one.
It's more fresh, more pressing. Yo, low key, shout out to PJ Washington for actually showing up as a bench player. Um, but besides that, Celtics really figured it out here. It seemed like at least defensively, their game plan was very specific. Sometimes we're gonna double team Luca, or we're just gonna tire him out going 1-on-1, and then no corner threes allowed, and then you just have to beat us. Like that's what it's gonna be, and you're gonna get exhausted. And um, this game, the first game, he only had one assist because they were just guarding him 1-on-1. It looked like consistently throughout the game. But this game, he got a triple double and he played out of his mind in the first half and then slowed down. So, um, yeah, this was an interesting game. I want to hear your thoughts and we'll go into it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a great like I got a lot of thoughts about this game, but
Yeah.
this game went about as exact the only way the Mavericks I made this point before. Luka and Kyrie have to average a combined for 60 because
Yes.
you're so limited on defense when you got Luka and Kyrie. So those guys have to combine for 60. And in this game, you get the formula. You get the three guys who combine for 40 points. That's 40 points right there. If Luka and
Yeah.
Kyrie give you 60, that's 100 points right there. And the defense wasn't even that bad. Boston ends up with 105 points. Kyrie doesn't, I mean, Kyrie's just really bad in this game, frankly.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't give you the 20. If he gives you 25, you win this game, and he doesn't. Which is pretty unfortunate. Like I don't want to point the blame somewhere, but that was kind of what I left that game feeling like. I kind of felt like a lot of people did their jobs. This is the game that Dallas needed to win. Like it was a
Mm-hmm.
bad Tatum game, it was a bad 3-point shooting game, and there was other
Yeah.
issues like
Terrible.
turnovers, the horrible free throw shooting on the Mavs side, but I really felt like Kyrie was the gap. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, one of many. I mean, just his because when he is more engaged, to your point, like he's such a big gap because his offense makes it harder for us to defend, which in large part has been the recipe to how our offense has been able to proliferate so well. Because if we're tiring Luca out, I mean, you've seen the highlights and all the videos. He was a cone. He was a turnstile on defense. Like we could just get past him so easily. And
As
even if it
expected.
doesn't lead to as a what?
As expected.
As expected, and then we tire him out, and it
Yeah.
becomes even easier, right? So
100%.
that's just the play. Attack Luca, attack Luca. His field goal percentage in the fourth quarter was awful. I don't have the stats on me, but I know he didn't shoot well. He scored
One
most of his
for six.
points.
One for
He was
six.
what? One for
One for
six.
yeah, 1 for 6, 0 for 2 from deep.
Yeah, he was tired out. He's front rimming a lot of shots. Bro, something else that I don't know if this is true. Like like we might have to check out the minutes and stuff. It seems like Lively has had a reduction in minutes since the Western Conference Finals. Like there was a lot of talk about him. He hasn't really played much in this finals. And when he played yesterday, I saw a lot of rookie in him and I saw a lot of Tatum on him.
Yeah.
Um, Especially when Kristaps was kind of hurt. And it looked like it was okay. Didn't like it when Gafford was on one of these non-centers because he was doing what he wanted. But
I mean,
yeah,
I think that's 100% true. There has been a cut in minutes, and yeah, it's just like Lively just hasn't played enough. Like he doesn't know what to do yet in these spots, especially when there's a lot of pressure on him.
yeah,
Frankly, like yeah, Tatum is that good of a defender where he can guard Lively, and Lively just doesn't have an offensive bag outside of rim running that he can go to. Not saying that Gafford really does either, but Gafford can play within the offense a lot better,
yeah.
even if he isn't rim running 24/7.
And they fed him like they fed him the ball a couple times in the post, and he just was able to hit little shots over guys, which something doesn't seem like Lively's quite figured that out yet.
100%. And it's fine. I mean, I don't think, in game two, we talked about this in our previewing this, like you need either Lively or Gafford to give you 30 minutes or close to it of like really quality production. And in game two, I mean, Gafford plays 25 minutes, but Gafford was really good in game two, I thought.
Yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
like it's not the 35 minutes I would have hoped for, but he was really good. But Lively at that point, it's almost like they almost should have quit on Lively a little earlier, and I think it might happen as the series goes on. But yeah,
For who though?
just more Gafford minutes.
Yeah.
The thing is, when Gafford's there for a while, it gets a little stale. Like that's another thing. Like it's not
Mhm.
like he's got, I don't know.
And if that's all you have left is Daniel Gafford,
I
you're
mean,
in trouble.
100%. I mean, I don't think that's all they have left. I mean, if we want to dig into like the little minutes changes that happen, so Exum goes from basically just being a garbage time 5 minutes in game one, basically, to
Mhm.
actually getting some sort of run, while Jaden Hardy goes from getting some sort of run to basically being sent to the bench. You know, Tim Hardaway Jr., who got some sort of run in game one, too, gets completely sent to the bench. Like, there's some stuff happening here, and I actually really liked the Exum minutes. I thought he like looked good. Um,
He looked all right.
yeah. But then on the other hand, it's like there's not another adjustment to be made in the sense like you're not going to play Josh Green more. He's been terrible in this series. As much as I was hoping he would play better. Like this still feels like to me a series Josh Green could play in, and he's just playing really badly. So I don't really know what's going on there. But the Mavs still have moves. Like the Mavs still have minutes to play around with, but is that going to take them over the top? Like, I don't know. Like, probably not.
And like I think like Derek Jones Jr., he's good. Is that where we want? Do you want him having 32 minutes? I mean, you got to get Luca's minutes up, which is going to be hard because of the injuries. You got to get Kyrie's minutes up, which is going to be hard because he's playing like trash. And then you got PJ Washington's minutes up, help kind of reduce some of that. Like Maxi Kleba didn't look great.
He did not look great, and there was a lot of Maxi Kleber at the four going on. Like I didn't love it.
Yeah,
And I don't know, but the thing with Derek Jones is he's so limited, and right now he's playing like the fourth best player on the Mavericks, and he needs to be a role player. And right now he's a key guy. You know, like he was 2 for 9 in game one, and I know it was second game two, he was better, definitely better. Like he looked better, offense flowed through him better. Over two, oh for three from three. And it's like he's playing 35 minutes a game. If Derrick Jones Jr. can go from playing 35 minutes a game to 28 effective minutes, first of all, I don't know who you're giving those 7 minutes to because everyone's looks pretty bad. But like if you can do that, maybe that gives you more effective Derrick Jones Jr. minutes. I don't know.
right. Like, are you giving it to Josh Green? You giving it to Jaden Hardy? You giving it to Markeith Morris off the bench?
I mean, I think you have to give it to Exum. I think you got to give Exum extended.
Yeah,
I think he's solid, and if he can shoot the three in any way, he becomes an asset in this series.
bro. They
And
need three
his
point shooting so bad.
what?
They need 3-point shooting so bad.
100%. I mean, Exum this season, 50% from three. Just putting that out there.
He
Like
was
on
one for
low,
one.
like he's not one of those guys who shoots the ball and you think it's going in. Let's just put it that way. Like two threes a game. But like, yeah, that's actually kind of blowing my mind. 50% from three is pretty crazy.
Huh. Yeah, that is. I mean, yeah, sample size and everything, but yeah.
And 50,
Um,
20 minutes a game for 55 games. I mean, because he hangs
damn.
out on defense. So if he can come in and shoot the ball well, which, he hit 1 3 last game, but I kind of feel like that is somewhere they can go to potentially
Mhm.
like shore up the rotation. But this is a bad spot to be in. Like we're having this conversation, they're down 0-2. Like, you know,
Right. Yeah. Dante Exum minutes.
yeah, like this, and again, that's not gonna like it's the Kyrie needs
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
complete.
Yeah.
And
We can
that's
talk
just
about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's assuming PJ, Daniel Gafford, and Derrick Jones Jr. don't have a drop in quality. Like, are they going to put up 40 points combined every game? Like, I
Right.
don't know. But if they do, Kyrie and Luka got to be ready.
Well, it's sort of like if Kyrie improves X amount, he's gonna be so much better than more Dante Exum minutes
Exactly.
of like good Dante Exum minutes. Like that's the problem. They're
Yeah.
kind of just like going for scraps, bro. Oh, also to your point though on the threes, the Mavs are shooting awful from three. This 24% in 2 games.
6 for 26 last game. Like, and I think
Yeah.
they had one more make and one more attempt in game one, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's been bad, but it's also like the defense has been really good. And like I don't think Dallas is gonna shoot like this for the rest of the series, but I also don't think they're gonna like I don't know, 23% is like low, but it hasn't like, you watch the game and I'm not like, damn, that should have gone in. Like, I don't feel like like I'm thinking that way. And that's kind of narrative based, I guess. But I don't see them shooting more than 40% from three in almost any of these games in the series, it feels like.
Yeah. Whereas with the Celtics, you're like, damn, they can't hit an open shot right now.
Yeah, honestly. Sam Hauser, holy crap. Dude,
Yeah.
for 5 last game, I think.
That's been an issue.
Like, and I mean, he's good, but and he's a threat. That's the thing. Everyone knows he can shoot, but like,
Yeah.
dude, over five
Can shoot.
shots.
Yeah, he's 2 for 7 in the series.
Yeah.
Um, but Tatum's 3 for 11 or 4 for 14. Even Jaylen Brown's 3 for 11. So yeah, you just got to figure it out, bro.
Uh,
How about that, bro? Peyton Pritchard's only three is the half court shot.
yeah. I mean, that was fun. It's kind of interesting. Okay. I mean, we can look to the future if you want now. Pritchard and Hauser cutting minutes in game two, but now with the Porzingis injury, you anticipate both of them are going to have an uptick in minutes, including Horford. Maybe you get some other minutes, but I don't know. How are we feeling about the Porzingis injury looking forward?
I mean, it's not good. He's averaged 22 minutes a game. So, I mean, yeah, maybe you get Luke Cornett's minutes up a bit. He's going to have to get more run. Xavier Tillman's going to have to get more run. So I think that's kind of the option there. Or, I mean, do you keep with Sam Hauser, who's played okay on defense? I think overall he's a presence on the court. He just can't have a friggin' shot. Same with Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah.
Those guys both go 2 for 5. Okay. That's all I need from you guys. And then Luke Cornett, get a big body in here, yeah, and let's attack Gafford and get him in foul trouble.
Well, what's gonna be funny is like now that you guys have discovered that Tatum can play the five,
Yeah,
guarding Lively, like we might start seeing like 5 minutes of Tatum at the five just to save Horford some legs. And
yeah.
this is like, we'll see. Porzingis day to day. I don't think he plays in game three, honestly. Like, we'll
I
see.
don't think so either. What was the injury? Sounded awful.
It's like an ankle stability, like it's like a muscle in your lower leg that helps stabilize your ankle, if I understand correctly. And
It's a
Porzingis is like, I'm
rare.
gonna play through it. And Joe Maz is like, you don't make that decision. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely not. And
So
let's wait. I want to talk about Joe Mazzulla in a second, but where's the name? I saw some tweet that said I said Kristaps Porzingis' injury out loud, and stuff started floating in the room like a spell.
yeah, no, it has a ridiculous name, but
But whatever. It's in his left leg. It has nothing to do. Maybe it has something to do indirectly with his right leg injury because
overcomping, yeah.
yeah. Bro, but how about Joe Maz, huh?
Hey, I think he's been killing it. I think he's been killing it. For a guy who was slandered last year, like, I don't know. I think his timeouts have been really good. I think his using them early on runs. I think he's been electric at like galvanizing this team. I think he's been good, bro.
He's felt really calm and collected. And then he has this great presence off the court where they're asking him questions about how does it feel that you guys are the second pair of black head coaches in the NBA finals? And he goes, I wonder how many of them are Christian coaches. Like, that's beautiful. Keep that up. And then you can do whatever you want. Like, I mean, the way he's playing is great. No non Kyrie or Luca threes above the or in the corners. You can all have them above the break. We'll take that. I mean, he was a whiz giving out all the specific plays that he was okay with the Celtics giving up in percentage with how many they did in the first quarter. It's really, really impressive. And good Lord, the Celtics are going to have a 51% 3-point shooting game. And I don't know what the Mavs are going to do with that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, bro. I don't want to get look too far ahead and give predictions, but I think it's cooked. I think the series is over.
Can't do that yet.
I mean, I'm gonna be like, I mean, I think you're valid. Like, Mavericks need to have the opportunity to win 2 games at home. But the way this series has gone, um, you you haven't gotten a good Tatum game yet. You've gotten good bench performances. Like, there's a gap. There's a pretty big gap between these teams, I feel like. I don't know. You've gotten good Luca games, pretty good Luca games. There could be like Luca can still go on and win you a game or two at this point. Like let's be real about it. But are you beating the Celtics 4 times in 5 games? Like, I don't know, especially when they're firing on all cylinders. I know there's the Porzingis injury, but and if Porzingis is truly out for a while, like, that's one thing. Like, that's gonna open the door a little bit, but the margin for error is just so like little for the Mavericks. They cannot like they turn the ball over so much. They miss a lot of free throws. Defensively, Luca gives up so much, and I understand like he's got a lot of press on him. But yeah, there's like very little margin for error for the Mavericks right now, and I'd be very shocked to see them come back. Unfortunately, because I think they're really good, obviously. But
Yeah. Historically, when was the last time we had a team whose third best player on a championship team was PJ Washington or Daniel Gafford? Like it's just it doesn't go with how history suggests. Not this time. Like in the
but
future, sure, but
but I think like in theory it was doable if they're a little deeper, a little more quality role players.
yeah,
Some
a little
more
deeper.
consistent performances from Kyrie. Like I really game two was tough because I really think you need to win game two. Horrible first half from the Celtics, and they go into they're up three. The Celtics are up three, and I was like, I don't know. I was honestly mind blown.
Yeah, right. Like it felt at one point I thought we were down by 12 or 15 or something, and we were down by 5. It's like, oh, okay. And Luca has 20 already, and he's not missing. All right, that's fine.
You guys couldn't hit
These
a
are tough
shot.
shots, or
You couldn't hit a
yeah,
shot.
no, except for Drew Holiday.
And
And oh,
you know what we
bro,
said? Do you
that
remember?
what?
Do you remember what I said before the playoffs? I was like, I think the Mavs are gonna let Drew Holiday try to beat you. I think there's gonna be a period, and you specifically said you're gonna let a 40% 3-point shooter beat you, and I was like,
Uh,
and guess what? Like we were right. The Mavs like Drew Holiday cooked, but like the Mavs were also like down. Like they weren't giving him the attention that they were even giving Jason Tatum.
yeah,
Like Jason Tatum got a ton of attention, and guess what? Drew Holiday beat him just like you said. So, you beat me in this round.
bro, I just love this man so much. He's averaging 19, almost 10 and 4, and playing great defense. That play where he forced Luca to commit the turnover because of the 8-second violation was genius, and then getting it to White, and then White throwing it back to him, and then him passing it to Horford, and then Horford passing it to him for the open three. The way he's been cutting and Tatum's been finding him too, it looks so pretty. And the fact that he can just drive to the rim so consistently and easily, and there's not a lot of offensive, like to your point, there's not a lot of offensive pressure. He's not a number one scoring option by any sense of the means, but he's a number 3 scoring option. And if he needs to put up buckets like that, he can do it. He has a 50-point game as a Buck, I believe, actually, relatively recently. So, bro, it's
And this is
just
and this is while putting in just amazing. Like I know you already touched on like some defensive plays, but
sure
he's like this is
a
I don't know.
clinic.
I think I left him off my all defensive team. I might have been wrong. Maybe or I might be tweaking. Maybe I didn't. But I don't know.
You had one of them. I think we both had one of them.
I think I might have had Drew off. Nah, I actually
Dang.
nah. I'm pretty sure
But
I
to
did
your
one. Nah, I'm
but to
taking
your
credit. I'm taking
yeah, let's go. Well, to your credit, either way,
but
we judge players for that on the regular season.
100%. But
So
you watch this series and it's really difficult to like I know Herb Jones is amazing, for example.
yeah,
But
right.
oh man, like I watched this series and I'm like, I want to start some Gobert Drew Holiday agendas.
look, we're excited, folks. We got 2 more games. Let's wrap it up with some predictions. Max, where do you see this series ending?
I think it's Celtics in 5. Or I want to say Celtics in 6 to give the Mavericks the benefit of the doubt, but it's really hard to right now. I think Celtics in 5 probably. And I think like this is a competitive series, but it still might be a sweep.
I've moved a bit closer to 5. I think my cousin bought tickets to game 5. So
I
that'll
have
be
as
cool for
well.
him. Expensive, bro.
I mean, honestly, like if the Mavericks had won game 2, I would still have Celtics in 7 probably, but I really think it was a big deal. You're not beating the Celtics again 4 times in 5 games. Made this point already, but
That's the tough part.
like
Unless you have LeBron James.
yeah, or Steph Curry. Or then you beat them 3 times in a row. Sorry about it.
That part. And folks, we love you. We'll be back probably after game 4. So either I'll be a very happy boy, a pretty happy boy, or an absolutely terrified boy. Man, I'll be
Boy,
definitely a terrified boy if
sound like
I'm
Drake.
I do sound like Drake. I'll
He
be like
calls himself
Kendrick
the
Lamar
boy.
though. Boy. Um, I'm looking forward to it though. Let's get after it. Game 3 tomorrow.
I'm hyped, bro. I mean, hey, as much as we're bashing the Mavericks, they got 2 games at home. They got a shot to win both. And then we're talking about a whole different series after game 4. But if that happens, I'd be very surprised. And I will stand here and say I was completely wrong. Because I think I'd be very shocked to see the Mavericks win both here.
Both. Yeah.
They have to win both. Can't go down 3-1.
Would be more surprised to see them win 2 than for the Celtics to finish up the series.
100% agree. 100% agree. But
Look at who
yeah,
knows?
I think they'll probably split. I can't. Luka and Kyrie gotta win you a game at home, right?
Right?
Right? I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll find out on the next podcast, the next Spittin' Hoops podcast, episode 50, by the
Let's
way.
go.
Shout out. Get
Let's
lit.
go.
Low key, that could be a turn episode 50 if the sweep comes true.
I like that. I like that. Well, folks, you heard it there. Couldn't have said any better. Episode 50 coming at you next. Episode 49. We out. Spitting hoops.
And we'll be here.
But if you didn't like,
And
wait, hit that.
and we'll be here Spittin' Hoops.
In case other people wanted the normal closeout, we will still be here no matter what, every single day to each other. And then once a week or so to you guys. Spin hoops.